Hi, my name is Daniel, and today I want to tell you a story about the most unbelievable night of my life. It started out as just another small gig, and it ended with me performing in front of thousands at one of the most prestigious concerts in the world, completely unprepared. I've been a pianist for most of my life, not one of those world-famous virtuosos you read about in glossy magazines, but a hard-working musician who takes on whatever jobs come his way. Weddings, small corporate events, hotel lobbies, sometimes even teaching lessons on the side to make ends meet. Music has always been my passion, but let's be honest, passion doesn't always pay the bills. So when a local cultural center hired me to play background music for their event, I didn't think much of it, just another evening, another paycheck. That night, I showed up early, carrying my sheet music in a worn leather folder. The venue was nice, but nothing extravagant. A mid-sized hall, soft lighting, a stage that looked like it hadn't been updated since the 90s. I set up at the grand piano, tested a few chords, and settled in. My job was simple: play pleasant background music while guests mingled and had dinner. I remember halfway through my set, while I was playing a Chopin nocturne, I noticed a group of frantic people whispering near the entrance. They looked stressed, almost panicked, constantly checking their phones. I thought, well, that's not my business. Keep playing, Daniel. But then one of the organizers rushed up to me, face pale, and asked, "You're the pianist, right?" I said, "Yes, for this event." She leaned in, lowering her voice. "We have a huge problem. Our star pianist for the international concert tonight, the headline performer, he just fell ill. He can't go on stage. Thousands of people are already seated. This is a disaster." I blinked, confused. "I'm sorry to hear that, but what does that have to do with me?" She gave me a look like I had just asked the dumbest question in the world. "You play piano, don't you?" I laughed nervously. "Yes, but you're talking about a world-class concert. I'm just here to play background music for a small dinner. That doesn't matter," she insisted. "Right now, you're the only professional pianist in the building. If you don't step in, the entire concert will collapse. Please, just do it. Play whatever you can. We'll cover you, we'll make it work." My hands went cold. My heart started pounding. I could feel the sweat on my forehead. Me? Replace a world-famous pianist? That was insane. I wanted to say no, to back away, to remind them that I wasn't ready for this, that I didn't even have the right repertoire memorized. But something inside me said, what if this is your chance? What if this is the moment you've been waiting for your whole life? Before I could think it through, they were already pushing me toward the stage entrance. The noise of the crowd was deafening. Thousands of people waiting for music, waiting for brilliance. The announcer's voice boomed. "Ladies and gentlemen, due to unforeseen circumstances, tonight's program will be slightly different. Please welcome Daniel Carter." And then it was just me and the piano. I sat down, staring at the keys, my fingers trembling. The spotlight burned on my skin. I could feel thousands of eyes drilling into me. I didn't even have sheet music in front of me. Everything was improvised. So I took a deep breath and started with something I knew well: Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. The first few notes echoed beautifully through the hall. For a split second, I forgot about the pressure. It was just me and the music. The audience went silent. So silent, I could hear my own heartbeat between the chords. By the second movement, my nerves began to calm. The piano felt like an extension of my hands again. I thought, okay, maybe I can pull this off. But then came the challenge. The concert wasn't supposed to be one sonata. People expected a full performance, a repertoire worthy of a star. So I kept going. Chopin waltzes, Debussy's Clair de Lune, even a Liszt transcription I hadn't touched in years. Some pieces I played perfectly. Others, let's just say I stumbled here and there. But the audience didn't seem to mind. They clapped, cheered, even gasped at the right moments. And every time I felt like I was about to break down, I reminded myself, play for the love of it. Play because you may never get this chance again. There was a moment near the end when I completely blanked. I couldn't remember the next passage. My mind was just empty. In a panic, I improvised. I started weaving in melodies from jazz standards I used to play at bars. At first, I thought people would notice, that they'd laugh at this obvious slip. But to my surprise, the crowd loved it. They thought it was intentional, that I was blending classical and jazz in some bold avant-garde style. When I finally struck the last chord, the hall exploded in applause. People stood on their feet, cheering, shouting my name. I was dazed, overwhelmed, my hands still shaking. I hadn't just survived, I had won them over. Backstage, the organizers hugged me like I had saved their lives. "You were incredible," they said. "No one suspected a thing. You pulled it off." I wanted to laugh. Incredible? I had just been winging it the entire time, but in their eyes, I was a hero. And here's the thing. I didn't get famous overnight. No record deals. No sudden career leap. But what I did get was something far more valuable. The reminder that sometimes, the scariest, most impossible moments are the ones that define you. That night, I wasn't just a background pianist. I was an artist who took a leap into the unknown and somehow, against all odds, landed on his feet. So if you ever find yourself thrown into an impossible situation, remember my story. Don't run, don't freeze, just play your song. You might surprise yourself and everyone else too.